to the L4 podcast. I'm Lisa LaBelle, and we got a high pony going on today, a high ponytail. I'm not sure how that got so high, but we're just trying to get closer to the Lord. That's what's going on here. That's what's up. We're doing an afternoon pod. So we had to get my energy up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta take some B12, a little bit. We're doing the creatine. Y'all know my stack. Are you stacked? Are you guys stacked? We got our caffeine 123 trimethylxanthine. Here we go. Take a sippity sip of that coffee. What are we doing over here? We're drinking this caffeine coffee all freaking day. Let's go. All right, I'll learn. It's okay. I've tapered down. I have tapered down on the coffee consumption, but sometimes in the afternoon, are you guys like this? We're talking around like 2 in the afternoon, between like 2 and 4. Your energy levels, they just kind of dip low. They're getting low. They're dipping low, and they're like, hey, you need some energy to do things. Well, you're gonna have to postpone the doing things because your energy about to go down. You about to go down, clown. So you gotta be like, no way, no freaking way. Let me get some B12 in my system. So here we are, guys. We're going into the Memorial Day weekend, and I wanted to get this podcast out for you. We're all busy, right? We're busy. I've been doing the improv. I've been doing stand-up. I got some stand-up back-to-back, guys, back-to-back. I am so looking forward to that. I know you guys have heard me saying I did a back-to-back stand-up. I think it was last month, and I was so happy because I got I iteratively got better, and there's not a lot of opportunities for me to do back-to-back comedy around these parts. Let me get the right accent. Around these parts of town, you know what I mean? We're up yonder from the Atlanta. We're up yonder. I can't be driving all the way down to Atlanta all the time because I got the podcast, right, guys? And I love doing this, so when I get those opportunities to do that back-to-back comedy, I take them. And I just hope more of those come my way, guys. I hope the opportunities that you are looking for in your life come your way too. You just, you go ahead and you get prepared for it so you can take it. Who said, David Goggins, you know who that is? That's that guy who runs a lot of miles, and he got his knees are all jacked up. He do it anyway. David Goggins, he says you have to do things even if you have no golden carrot in front of you, meaning you don't have shite. There's no shite scheduled out, man. People want to know how I could take some these stand-up opportunities so fast and be prepared, or take these stand-up opportunities and be prepared so quickly, because you gotta prepare even when you don't have shite. There's no shite on the horizon, but you prepare as best as you can. And here's the thing: the universe rewards motion. So go take a step forward, God. Just even if you're trying to figure it out, just go get out there. Just put your foot in front of the other. It's that Christmas song, man. One foot in front of the other. That's all I know of that. And that's a Claymatics Christmas song out there. I do believe. Gosh, I hope you guys are going into a good weekend here. And, there's this account I follow called Frog and Toad, or Toad and Frog, and it's like they're besties, the Toad and Frog, and it's just illustrations of a toad and a frog, and they're besties, and the toad's like, it's a beautiful day. I got up and the sun was shining. And it's just beautiful out, guys. And, so it is great. It's great. Let's go. Let's get into it. I did some improv. I had an improv show last weekend, and it was great. It was fun. It was a new crew. I did it with my improv bestie, Mike. Shout out Mike out there. And we did a show together with an improv group, and we officially got invited to be on the improv group. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to doing more improv professionally. Well, I don't know. You can't call it professionally. We don't get paid. but I'm just looking to perform more often, and that will give me an opportunity to do so. So that was great. That's cool. And I did some stand up as well, and that was fun. Still, working it out, man, working the bits out. That's what's going on. What's going on in the world today? People fighting, fuming, loot, it's okay. And that's Eminem. Y'all know I'm an Eminem fan. That's you get if you want to get your tongue untied, if you want to get your tongue disciplined, really think about what you're saying. If you have a problem with that, like I did, go listen to some Eminem and Dr. Dre, and then follow along with them as fast as they're going. And you'll learn to work that mind to tongue muscle. Get those words out. Untie that tongue, son. So that's what's happening. That's what happened last week. That's going on this week. Some comedy, and get some. If you're feeling down, get some laughter in your life. That's what my grandma said. Laughter is God's medicine. She always said that. And there's something called, I had a doctor tell me there's something called laughter therapy now, and that's wild. Like, I guess, that's what a comedian is. That's what comedians have always been, right? Throughout all of, I bet, human history. There was the one jester out of the group. My business is jesting. And there was that one person who just wanted to make people laugh. They wanted to entertain other people, bring people out of the problems in their life and bring them into a world of laughter and dopamine. And there was that one person. And so now they're just like putting a name to it, and they're making like therapy out of it. I don't know what to think about that, but all right, just go to a comedy show, guys. If that's what it's probably a little cheaper, but probably a lot cheaper actually. So come out to my comedy show. That's what I'm saying. What else is going on, guys? There's always that one. It's funny. I was listening to a podcast with some tech peeps, and who are very. They're very successful at what they do. And the one guy was like, I was coding computer games when I was 15, and it's funny because to the commoners, I'll call them commoners. He didn't call them commoners. Okay. Just to be clear. But, to the commoners, it's like, oh, wow, that's impressive. But to a bunch of tech bros who are like, stage 4, they got that stage 4 of the tism. They're all like, dude, we were doing the same thing. What are you saying to us? You want us to clap? It's like the Don Rickles. What do you want? A cookie? That's just it's funny to say that around a bunch of people that also have done that. So they're like, yeah, that's just a normal 15-year-old childhood. What are you doing? I mean, gosh, y'all know the physicist. I think he's Japanese. He's American, but I think he's Japanese American. And his last name is Kaku. It's Kaku. His first name is Michio, and you can pronounce that however you want. I'm gonna pronounce it Michio. Michio. Kaku. Dr. Kaku, I'll just say. And he was building particle accelerators in his garage at 17, which means he was like working it through since he was like 8 years old. He's working all this through his head. And then he's like, I need to go build a particle accelerator in my garage. That's an atom smasher. That's a thing that you got the thing and it smashes atoms. And he wanted to make it powerful enough to create, the gamma ray beams to create antimatter in his garage. That was his goal. That's his dude's goal at 17. Good God. That's like stage 7 of the tism. You know what I mean? Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, don't be going bragging to that dude, to Dr. Kaku. He's got you beat, boy. He's got you beat. What else is going on here? We got Rhonda Patrick out there, Dr. Rhonda Patrick out there. She's great. Love her. Got a lot of helpful, interesting I'll listen to her sometimes and got some interesting, advice, health wise. But she was out there talking about how Whole Foods, you got your salads, your blueberries, your strawberries, your peppers, your cucumbers. They all got extremely high levels of microplastics, like insanely high. So then it's like, dude, what do we do? Like, I give up, man. I freaking give up. I think at this point, what I'm thinking is ultra processed foods, it has less microplastics and less chemicals or less glyphosates, less phosphine gas for fumigate in it than Whole Foods at this point. People be like, oh, at least you eat so healthy. I'm like, I don't know. Do I? Because I'm told that the food I'm eating has a lot of microplastics in it. I have no idea anymore. What is that doing to our body? It's got a lot of chemicals that, might as well just go back to the ultra processed food where they keep a tight rein on what's going on in those factories. Who knows, man? Who knows? That's what is that? That's Christopher Walken. Who knows? Good God. I want to eat some blueberries. I want to eat some blueberries, but I'm thinking I'll eat some pretzels instead. That's really what's going on. What else is going on? We have, we got this bird going on, the Taylor bird. I love birds. I watch them. I watch them in my backyard. They're so cute. They got, they're picking up little things off the ground, and we got a little birds that made a nest over there. And I saw this Taylor bird, not in my backyard, but on the cybers. And it was making a nest. And here's the thing, though, guys, remember, this bird in particular, like a lot of birds, has eyes on the side of his head. So it's making this beautiful, intricate nest with eyes on the side. Think about it. Think about it, guys. Take your eyeballs out and put them on the side of your head. And then you try to make an intricate nest for your family. Because you have to be looking at things like this. To the side. I'm doing to a side. You be giving the side eye all the time. And you be looking at your thing like, did I make that right? Did I weave that thing right? And you're always turning your head to the side. Nature is amazing. You're you're not quite taking in information together from the front. You're doing one to the side and the other to the side. And then your brain has to put them together that way. Holy freaking smokes, man. Those birds, I love those birds. They're just little airbags, little angel airbags floating around out there in the sky over there. They're just the cutest sweetest little thing. What else is happening, guys? Ladies, PSA, y'all get microneedling. Just think about this, guys. Think about this. There's mites that could be living on your skin. Thousands of tiny mites are probably living in the pores of your face right now, and they're called demodex. And when you get microneedling, those needles push them further down into your face. Excuse me, guys. Let me silence my phone. I thought I did that before the show, guys, before the recording. But yeah, guys, so there might be thousands of tiny little mites might be living on the pores of your face right now. They're called demodex, and when you get microneedling, those beach dogs, those needles, they push those further down into the skin of your face, and that's why some ladies, your rosacea gets worse after microneedling. Yeah, just think about that. I'm just a little frustrated with the plastics industry. They're not giving us anything to work with. Everything they give us, microneedling is inflammation station, man. Come on, give us something else, man. Come on, no needle. That's what I'm talking about. What else is going on? We got people be tone deaf out there. That's what's going on. Good God. All right, we got some tech finance. We'll get into it. We'll get right into the show here. But first, we're going to have a sip of coffee, and here we go. I'm so excited about this show, guys, because, and it's a show. It is. This is a real show. You and I were here, and I'm talking to you guys on the show. And doing a little rambling and riffing right now. Okay, you got your sip of liquid. Whatever your liquid is. I mean, Trump's over there. Trump's over there. I think he's drinking alien blood. You know, that's what's going on. Those files have been released. I talked about that last week, those alien files. And what's in there? Not much. I mean, not much is going on. So I guess we'll find out what's happening. But I don't think a lot of people care about it. And yeah, I get it. It doesn't affect your life on a daily basis. It is interesting to think about. And who knows? You know, my mom says, everything is the devil. You know, the devil. Aliens, they're the devil. Anything outside our solar system, that's the devil. So who knows? She could be right. You know what I mean? It's the mom from The Water Boy. That's what's going on. So, all right. We got some tech finance news. Intel is making headway. Intel makes chips, boys and girls. They make those GPUs and the CPUs. They make some chips. And before, Intel is really, really coming along. Now, last week, was it last week or the week before? The week before that, I was talking about it was the week before that when I was talking about bit flips and how Intel, they partnered with Tesla, Elon Musk's Terafab lab, and they're trying to make this chip. It's called the 14 angstrom, ANGSTROM, and you could pronounce that however you want, but I'm going to pronounce it angstrom. And that 14 stands for 1.4 nanometers, and that's the size of the transistors, I do believe, that they're trying to make in this chip. Now, the more transistors you have, the faster the chip is, and the more efficient it is, because the less the electricity has to travel in between each transistor, so it is conserving energy. And that is the first law of thermodynamics. Energy shall be conserved. And I'm not sure if those two go together, but, you know, conserving energy, that certainly does. So I'm going to juxtapose those things. Okay, so here we go. What I'm saying is Intel is making headway here. Now, the largest producer of these chips we're talking, guys, data centers, NVIDIA. So NVIDIA, that's Jensen Huang over there, CEO of NVIDIA, and NVIDIA makes chips, and we're talking like computer chips, graphic processing units, data center hard drives. So the biggest or the most popular place that makes these little tiny silicon wafer chip thingies with these transistors in it is the Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company. And yes, it is in Taiwan. And now this is interesting though, because not too long ago, they remained one of the top like they were it. That's where you go, you get your chips made. I mean, Intel made some, Micron made some, but it was mostly like this Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company. And now what's happening is Intel is coming on up in the lead. You ever go to a fairground and they have these horses and they're on sticks, and you gotta push. I think it was the water game where you have your water gun and you have to keep the water flowing to hold the little button down, and then your horse will go. So it's kind of like you're seeing these horses on a stick in the lead. And now we got Intel. It is coming on up there. It's coming on up. And yeah, I'm relating that, I guess, to that game. I played that game in Wildwood, New Jersey on the boardwalk, but I know they have them at fairgrounds too. And I guess I'm relating it to that because it's we're coming up on summer, guys. I mean, this how hot it is. Stage 4 of the tism. That just came out right there with that little stutter. Eminem. I gotta do a little more of myself. Eminem. I gotta do a little more Eminem. So, everybody got, okay. Everybody want to open their mouth like they got something to say, but nothing comes out. Doesn't move their lips, just a bunch of gibberish. I forgot about Jay. Yeah, I had to beep out the mother trucker. I guess mother truck. We can use mother truckers, right? Everybody want to open their mouth like they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips. Just a bunch of gibberish. Mother truckers act like they forgot about Dre. There you go. Just keep doing that over and over and over and over and over and over every single day. And then your tongue, you got to do it every day. Get your tongue better, relaxed, moving, thinking it up, and getting your mind muscle to your tongue. Anyway, so we'll get back on the rails. We're going back on the rails here. It's been really hot. It's been getting hot outside. It's been feeling like summer. So I am relating that Intel making headway up. It's coming on up around the bend, in front, maybe almost nose to nose to the Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company. Woo! Woo! Woo-hoo-hoo! I mean, making that deal with, partnering up with Elon Musk, that's pretty big. That's a big deal for their 14 angstrom, for the D3 chip. The D3 chip is the one that Elon Musk is making to the D3 chip to go to space at the Terafab lab. And that will be 80% of their production. We'll get into that in a minute. Now, Intel, the other reason why Intel is making headway, you're like, Lisa, we already talked about this. What are you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? All right, here we go. Apple has teamed up with Intel now. This is wild. Apple. So the Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company used to be the sole maker for Apple's chips, iPhones, guys, and computers, the iMac. Not anymore. So let's see. For years, the Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company was the sole provider of Apple's bleeding edge processors, iPhones and iMacs. However, Apple just signed a landmark agreement to diversify its supply chain, which is wild. So TSMCs, we're going to call that. That's the Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing company. Factories have been utterly overwhelmed by the generative AI boom. Companies like NVIDIA are buying up every bit of space they can. Apple has officially topped Intel's foundry business. Tapped. Apple has officially tapped Intel's foundry business. Intel is slated to build Apple's future M7 MacBook chips using Intel's 18A P process by 2027 and future iPhone chips by 2028. That is huge, guys. That is huge. I'm checking my systems here. We're good. All right. That's a big deal, guys. So if you want to go ahead and get yourself some Intel stock, maybe you request that for a birthday gift from the universe, go ahead and do that because they're about to freaking explode, man. They're coming back. They're coming back. They got some new leadership over there. And that's what's happening. He's moving quickly. You know, it's like Jeff Bezos. I say Bezos. People say Bezos. He said something right. I mean, this one thing that really stuck with me. That's what I'm saying. This thing. And he said, you have to make decisions quickly. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. That's right. That's how you got to make decisions. And oh my God, what if you make a wrong decisions? Well, like 99.9% of the time, it's easier to reverse a bad decision, but it's way easier to reverse a bad decision, but it is way more detrimental to your company or to your life to just be sitting on shite. That's what I'm saying. To be sitting on all these decisions is way more detrimental to progress than making them quickly and then reversing a mistake. So that really holds true in my mind here. And you're just retard maxing. That's what's going on. It's just another name for retard maxing. Decision, boom, decision, boom. What should I do this? Yes, do it, boom. Where should I want to do this with my life, but I don't know how to start. Well, write it down and then do the first thing that you have control over. Whatever that may be in your life, do the first thing that you have control over. Boom. Just do it. Okay. That's enough hype for one day. Here we go. I hope I motivate you guys. Motivation station. You're like, I'm not here to be motivated. I'm just here to listen to what's going on in the world with some peak absurdity. So I'll get back to that. Let me just get some more coffee. Okay. We're talking about here, Intel. We're still talking about Intel, guys. We're still talking about it. So we'll get through it here. We'll get through it. So let's see. And then we got the Apple deal. That's big. We got the Terafab deal, Elon Musk's brand new multi-billion-dollar project designed to build advanced AI, robotics, and vehicle chips all under one roof. Terafab Lab. Elon Musk announced that Tesla and SpaceX are partnering with Intel to use Intel's upcoming 14A tech process for their custom AI chips. This is a massive validation for Intel. It proved to Wall Street that the tech industry is ready to trust Intel with their most critical next generation hardware. And so we're trying to get the 14 angstrom. They're trying to get to the 1.4 nanometer transistors. So in the chip world, smaller is better because you can jam more transistors onto a single slice of silicon. The scale, 10 angstroms equals 1 nanometer. 14A stands for 1.4 nanometers. The tech industry is currently transitioning from 3 nanometer chips to 2 nanometer chips. Intel's 14A is the generation beyond 2 nanometers. Intel is betting its entire future on this by buying insanely expensive $400 million machines. Whoa, it's like lithography, high NA EUV lithography machines to print these microscopic, you might say microscopic features in a single pass. Wow. Let's see. I was trying to visualize like a nanometer. I'm like, okay, how can we like relate this to the real world, right? So an average human hair, a human being is about 80,000 to 100 nanometers wide width, okay? If you take a single hair and try to line up 1.4 nanometer transistors across its width, you could fit roughly 60,000 to 70,000 of them side to side just across that microscopic strand. What? Wow. What? Holy smokes. All right, so we're talking about Intel's 14 angstrom, right? We're talking about their angstrom technology, right? That they have partnered up with Terafab Lab, that's Elon Musk's Terafab Lab, and they are going beyond the 2 nanometer transistor to 1.4 nanometers. Okay, and in the chip world, smaller is better because you can jam more transistors onto a single slice of silicon. And also, guys, like I mentioned, it is more energy efficient when you put more transistors onto one of those chips because the electricity doesn't have to travel as far. So we are conserving energy. We're talking about the first law of thermodynamics over there, okay? I'm going to juxtapose that because energy conservation. All right. So, but what is 1.4 nanometers? Like, what is that? All right. So a hair strand is about 80,000 to 100,000 nanometers wide. All right. We got that. If you take a single hair and try to line up a 1.4 nanometer transistors, boom, 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 like that. That's what it sounds like when you're lining those transistors up to a hair width. across its width there, you could fit roughly 60,000 to 70,000 of these teeny tiny transistors side by side just across that microscopic strand. Holy freaking holy smokes. What have they got over there? How are you making this? Whose eyeballs are they using to take a look at these tiny little things? Under what kind of microscopic? They got that bird over there, that Taylor bird over there, just over there looking at those lithography machines with those eyeballs on the sides of its head. Is looking at those things like sideways, like, let me see this transistor. Let's see, is this the right size? Because they got some good sight, those birds. They don't need magnifying glasses. So they probably just got a bunch of birds over there looking at those machines, making sure everything's right. And that's absurd. That is absurd, Lisa. What are you saying? They don't have birds. It's AI, man. But we're here for peak absurdity. I know you guys like my cheesy jokes. That's why you're here. All right, let's go. So making them small. Let's get on down the road a little bit more about why we want to make. Watch the tram car, please. That's a tram car in Wildwood. Okay. Why are we talking about making these small? So why are we obsessed with getting them smaller and smaller? We're talking about micro things. We're quantum thing. Maybe not quite quantum, but almost quantum. I mean, the human eye can't really freaking see it, man. Maybe a bird's eye can see it on the side of its head. All right, so it comes down to a fundamental rule of tech physics. Smaller transistors equal shorter distance for electricity to travel. Because the electrons don't have to travel as far, the chip can process data significantly faster. Yes, smaller transistors require less electrical voltage to switch on and off. This means your phone battery lasts longer and massive AI data centers don't melt the power grid. The smaller they are, the more you can pack into a single chip. Instead of a chip with 10 billion brain cells, that's the transistors. Excuse me, you can fit 100 billion. That is exactly what is required to run massive AI models locally on a phone, a car, or space satellite without lag. We're talking holy freaking smokes. That's what we're talking. That is wild stuff. Wow. And guys, you remember what a transistor is? Just real quick, y'all, it's the ones and zeros in a chip. I'm talking about a chip, guys. It's the ones and zeros in a chip. So a transistor, think of it as a microscopic light switch. It has no moving parts, just sits there and either lets electricity flow on or blocks it off. In the computer world, on equals 1, off equals zeros. So it's a bunch of ones and zeros. A modern chip like the Vera Rubin that is NVIDIA's, or the D3 chip that is Tesla's, doesn't have just a few of these switches. It has billions of them packed into a piece of silicon the size of a postage stamp. So that's what we're talking about, guys. The 1.4 nanometers. That is wild. That's what's going on, and that's what's going on in the world. Holy freaking smokes. Moving on. Okay. Now, we have stage 4 of the tism really hard. It's really strong today right now. Sorry guys, bear with me. Let me get my thoughts together. Transition. All right, robots need a sense of direction. That's what we're transitioning to. And I just assumed like a robot, you say it puts one foot in front of the other and it figures out like, oh, I can feel the ground, and that's the ground. I'm standing upright, but it has no feelers. It has no feelers, and it doesn't know if it's up or down. It's like flying an airplane. You got to know if you're up or down. You get really, really confused when you're flying an airplane, especially with like the crystals in your ear. You can get confused if like which way you are in reference to Earth and space. So that's what robots, they're just walking around in like a simulated world. It's like the Matrix they're walking around in. They don't know what's up or down. They can't feel gravity. They can't feel shit, man. But, sensors, some people are putting sensors and haptics on their hands, but not on their feet quite yet. Not that I know of, not that I've seen. So as far as I know, Figure doesn't have haptics on his feet. And I'm not sure if that's even going to be necessary. But the way that the robot understands if it's up or down, it has something called an accelerometer. It has a few things, okay, going on. So we have inertial measurement unit. That's robots need an accelerometer to tell it which way is down, so it don't get that robot paralysis. You know what I'm saying? So it's not over there, and it's thinking that the sky is actually the ceiling, and then it starts trying to walk up into the air, and that's not going to work, and it's going to get robot paralysis, and then probably rigor mortis because it hurt itself, and now its knee popped off and landed in someone's coffee in the park. That's what happens if you have no IMU in it, inertial measurement unit. That's an electronic device that measures and reports a body's specific force, angular rate, and sometimes the magnetic field surrounding the body. That is magnetic field. What? In context of robotics, like Figure or your own tech hardware, the inertial measurement unit acts as the inner ear of the machine, providing the raw data necessary for balance and orientation. So it's like the crystals in the robot ear. And so it doesn't crash out live, you know what I mean? It can't be, that robot can't be walking around or doing something in a factory and then it loses its balance. It's got that vertigo, and it's like, oh my gosh, where do I go? Because I got that vertigo. My inertial measurement unit has failed me, and now I don't know which way is up or down. And then it just crashes out live. The exact thing that we're trying to prevent doing on here, crashing out live. So let's get some more coffee. All right. So how does a inertial measurement unit work? Typically consists of 2 or 3 primary sensors bundled into a single chip. Okay, the accelerometer. That's how I say it. You might say it differently. That's how I say it. Measures linear acceleration along the 3 axes. Where you got the XYZ. All right? That's those axes. That's those axes. What do I say? That's those axes. It tells the system which way is down by sensing gravity and detects changes in velocity. Then you got your gyroscope, and that measures angular velocity or rotational speed, pitch, roll, and yaw. Not y'all. Yaw. Is that Pam or Pan? Is that y'all or y'all? It's yaw. Y-A-W. This is what allows a humanoid robot to know it is tipping over before it actually hits the ground. Wow. It really needs that gyroscope. I think iPhones have that too, because you're going to need something like that so your phone knows which way you turn in your screen, because your screen now turns now. It didn't used to do this, but it turns with you, and it's got to understand a sense of direction when you're doing it. All right, now we got the magnetometer, often included, acts as a compass to provide a heading relative to Earth's magnetic field. Oh, that is so cool. That helps the device understand which direction it is facing, north or south. So is that like a little bit of magnetic levitation? No, nothing like that. That's not even related to that. But I just, think magnet and then maglev. And that's, don't do that. Don't do that. So magnetometer. I love that. I think I'm going to name my next pet that, magnetometer. All right, and then we got the degrees of freedom. You'll often see the inertial measurement unit rated by the DOF. I've talked about DOF on here before. You need that DOF for that DTF. Nah, mean. Someone over there in Allentown, Pennsylvania. That's what they saying. That's what some white kid. They're saying that you need that DOF for that DTF. You know what I mean? I'm channeling my cuz over there. So here we go. A 6-axis of an inertial measurement unit includes a 3-axis accelerometer and a 3-axis gyroscope. A 9-axis inertial measurement unit adds a 3-axis magnetometer. There's that word, magnetometer. For a humanoid robot to achieve the full body closed loop control, the inertial measurement unit data is processed at incredibly high speeds, often 1,000 hertz or more. Sensor fusion, the robot doesn't just trust one sensor. It combines the accelerometer data, which is stable but noisy, with the gyroscope data, which is fast but drifts over time using algorithms like a Kalman filter. The robot uses this fused data to build a mathematical map of where its torso is in space. Without a functioning inertial measurement unit, a humanoid robot would have no sense of balance and would collapse instantly, as it wouldn't know its own orientation relative to gravity. It crashed out live. In other words, it crashed out live. That's what it would do. Outside of robotics, you have inertial measurement units in your smartphone to rotate the screen, in a virtual reality headset to track head movement, and in drones to keep them level during flight. Basically, all robots, any kind of technology, anything that cannot feel gravity on its own, like human beings or living things, is going to need an inertial measurement unit. And some people might be like, you need an inertial measurement unit. They might say that to another human being who's a little off kilter, a little precarious. Like, you need to go get installed an inertial measurement unit so you stop crashing out live, man. And some people say that on the street. That's just what I heard. Moving on. So we got Figure has another update. And we're not surprised, guys. At this point, we're just like, yeah, we freaking expect it at this point. So Brett Adcock, he keeps one-upping himself, and he seems to be doing fine with that. So last week, we were talking about Figure learning from a master robot. We got a student robot and a master robot, and Figure making a bed and tidying up a room and learning from this master robot. That's what I call it. But now this week we had, and I think it was last week or the week before that. Anyway, I got my weeks mixed up. Anyway, within a 1 week span, that's what I'm trying to say. We got 2 updates going on. So we have continuous 8-hour footage of Figure He's doing some things. Watch a team of humanoid robots running a full 8-hour shift at human performance levels. This is fully autonomous, running Helix 2. And that's from Brett Adcock, that post. Helix 2, guys, remember, that is the AI, that is the proprietary neural network that Brett Adcock and the team built at Figure to it's Figure's brain. So Helix 2 is literally Figure's brain. So we have here he had this continuous this running a full 8-hour shift of the robot doing a task. The use case, I'm kind of rambling here. I apologize because this post didn't pull up right away. So we have the use case for this is it looks like Figure is sorting packages. The use case is small package sorting. Figure 3 must detect the barcode, pick up the package, reorient it barcode face down onto the conveyor. The robots have a reason purely from camera pixels. That is amazing. So they have to reason from their camera vision. So camera vision would probably be the same as like a human being vision. That's what I'm saying. This thing is running closer and closer, like a human being. We're getting closer and closer to it, guys. This is amazing. So no one else has put out a continuous 8-hour working robot, like just a live stream. No one else has done this. No one else had the balls to do this. That's what I'm saying. But Figure's out there. Figure's like, I got this, boy. Put the camera on. Turn that Bichon on. Let's go. That's what Figure's doing over there. So they got this continuous running thing. This is interesting. During the shift, during Figure sorting these packages out, he cross-body reach. For cross-body reach, the policy, remember we talked about policies before, guys. The policy lifts its arm to avoid hitting the metal chute. So what's going on here is you have Figure the robot, and there is a chute right next to him where he is sorting the packages on the conveyor belt, and he did a crossbody reach. So he took his right arm, I'm gonna say, and he went over to his left side, and he was able to dodge the metal chute by that camera vision. Here we go. Yep, he took the right and went over to the left side, and yeah, he lifted his left hand up, or his left arm up, that was going to hit the chute. So, whoa, man, that's amazeballs. Yep, I use that word. I know everyone likes that word. I don't even like that word. Let's, that's amazing. Okay, so and then here we go. We have I want to tell you guys, so policy, that's what that post was saying. Brett Adcock was saying for cross-body reach, the policy lifts Figure's arm to avoid hitting the metal chute. So I want to just go over what a policy is again real quick so you guys remember, or if you didn't hear last week's podcast when I talked about a policy. So a policy, in the old world of robotics, we use code, step-by-step math instructions. In the new world, we use policies. All right. So it's a strategy. Think of a policy not as code, but as a mathematical map. It's a neural network that has seen so many examples of a new task that it knows the rule of thumb for what to do next. It doesn't follow a recipe. It follows a feeling, quote unquote, feeling based on probability. And now Figure has that visio-motor policy. Again, Figure runs on Helix, the neural net the neural network that is proprietary to Figure. And Helix 2, version 2, has a 3-system architecture. That's the system 0, 1, and 2. And it's got a lot of different policies, but it's for sure got that visio-motor policy, which is the hand-eye connection. That's what's going on here in this video of Figure sorting packages. And humans don't think about every individual muscle twitch. When we reach for a coffee cup, we think in chunks. That real-time action chunk in. That's what our brains do. That it just does it innately. We don't have to think about chunking. We don't need to think about chunking instructions. So, Figure they gotta figure all this out with neural net, man. So we're talking here. We think in chunks. Reach, grab, lift. We don't think about that, right? Action chunking is when the AI predicts a chunk of 50 to 100 movements at once, usually covering about 1 second of real time. Instead of asking the brain, what do I do now? Every millisecond, it says, here is the next 1 second of smooth movement. This is why Figure 3 looks so fluid and not stuttery like older robots. It's quite smooth, and Figure's got that slap gait. So it's got that limber up. Figure's over there like limbering up. And it's cool. The charging station, it actually sits down. It's like sitting kind of to rest this robotic skeletal system. And it's to conserve energy, really. Get some weight off his bones, man. So that's that real-time action chunk in the fluid movement. So the Visio motor policy, the eye-hand connection, specific policy that takes visual and motor data and mashes them together. It's the bridge that allows the robot to see a pillow and instantly know how much pressure its fingers need to apply to pick it up. Again, so, okay, that's what a policy is. And then, so Brett went on to put a human versus a machine. So he put one of the interns on it. And whenever I think of an intern, I think of that movie Life Aquatic with the interns with the shirt. It says intern. And they're like, do all the interns get a clock? And I think it was Bill, who plays that? I know Owen Wilson's in it. I know, let's see, the guy that William Dafoe plays in it. Bill Murray. Boom. Thank you. My vectors. Thank you. I got tokens and the vectors and the right vector pulled. So Bill Murray is like the interns get one clock and they have to share it and they don't get paid. So anyway, I think of interns, that silly, ridiculous thing. You know, Wes Anderson is fantastic with his films. And here we are. So man versus machine. Now they have, we got bored, time for man versus machine. So Brett put one of the interns up against figure sorting the packages. So I guess this is like a very popular thing out there in the world in factories that human beings are doing. Is a very popular job. People just sorting packages. But the thing is, it's very boring. It doesn't spark the mind at all. And human beings, you want to see people doing a job that is fulfilling to them. So that's the hope. That is the hope with these robots, these humanoids being able to automate these positions that are just kind of like monotonous and just the human beings just get kind of sad and depressed doing them. So that's just where my view on it. And anyway, you're not here to hear my view on it, but maybe you are. I guess I get paid to have opinions, and those opinions need to be funny. But so, I'm working on that other part. Anyway, so we got Brett Adcock. They put a human up against a machine. And here we go we are running man versus machine head to head for 10 straight hours. The team that sorts the most packages wins. We are following California labor laws, so the human gets both meal breaks and paid rest breaks during the shift. For background, the task is small package sorting. You must detect the barcode, pick up the package, and reorient its barcode face down onto the conveyor. Our bet, the human is faster, but fatigue and breaks may slow him down. Also, tortoise and hare situation, maybe. So nobody, tortoise and hare situation, that is, we're talking about the fables, guys. We're talking about the fables, all right? Anthropomorphizing animals, Aesop's fables, the tortoise and the hare. Nobody told the intern to let the robots win. Honestly, it's anyone's guess who wins. So then there's that footage. And then we go on to... we got an energy vampire out there just sucking all the energy up, trying to get hits, trying to get attention. We got someone posted, this is literally cheating. So if you guys see this post of the human and figure, and there's like red circles around the amount of units they were doing, the total packages, ignore it. It's ridiculous. Brett Adcock actually answered it, which I'm glad he did. Every package was counted. You just cropped the end out when the counter fully updated. Quit deceptive post. Quit deceptive posting. I think maybe that's what that meant to say. But basically, it's an energy vampire. Don't listen to it. And it's probably not even a human being doing that either. You know what I mean? Like the dead internet theory. So that now we got the human one. It's got blisters on its fingers. The human, I think his name is Amy. So we have Figure AI's F.3. That's Figure version 3. Just faced its first live test against a human. The intern won by 192 packages, but Figure CEO said this is the last time a human will ever win. Oh, Brett Adcock, he's so funny. Okay, so let's see. And they showed that Brett Adcock, congratulations to AIME. He said his left forearm is basically broken. Final score, Figure 12,732 packages, 2.83 seconds per package. AIME 12,924 packages, 2.79 seconds a package. This is the last time a human will ever win. So that's interesting, and they're just trying to make Figure faster, and that's a good thing. Moving on. We got through that. We're going at a good pace here. I think actually I was going to talk about whole body control versus full body closed loop. They're not the same. This is just interests me, guys, and that's why I talk about things that are interesting to me, and I hope they're interesting to you too, because Figure got to stand up there. He got to hold his body up without crashing out live. You know what I mean? And I was thinking, well, what's the difference between whole body control versus full body closed loop? Let's see. The vision, language, action, the VLA. Think of it as system 2. Remember, you got Helix, which is the brain of Figure with that 3 architecture style, that 3-layer architecture. So you got the system 0, 1, and 2. Think of system 2 as the vision, language, action, single neural net that takes in visual data and natural language instructions to output specific movement plans, its actions. So we're talking here, unlike older robots that used separate code for seeing and moving, Figure's vision, language, action unifies them. It reasons that if you ask for an apple, it must identify the apple, plan a path to reach it, and coordinate the fingers all within one model. So a full body closed loop control, think of system 1. Remember, we got system 0, 1, and 2 in the Helix brain. You got system 1, or the reflexes, all right? It's a control system that constantly checks for the difference between desired state, where the vision, language, action wants the hand to be, and the actual state, where the hand really is, and corrects it in real time. So it's constantly like checking itself, doing the checks and balances on itself. The closed loop means that the robot is constantly using sensors, inertial measurement units, joint encoders, cameras to feed data back into the system. If you push a Figure robot, the loop sees the balance shift and fires the motors to correct it instantly. Remember, Figure's got that push recovery on it. You go up and you push a Figure, well, it's going to bounce back, right? It's going to bounce right back. Remember, robots have the best memories, so don't be pushing a Figure for no dang on reason. That's all I'm saying. All right. Now, whole body. Instead of controlling just an arm or a leg, the system treats the entire 35 plus degrees of freedom. And that's the degrees of freedom is the degrees of freedom is the amount of movements an independent joint can make. All right. So you got that degrees of freedom. And so you got, instead of controlling just an arm or a leg, the system treats the entire 35 plus degrees of freedom as one mathematical problem. If the robot reaches for a heavy box, the full body controller knows it needs to shift its hips back to stay balanced. So we're talking a little hip mobility right there. These robots, they're getting that hip mobility. Their hips be more buttery than a human's hips. Probably more buttery than most humans' hips, guys. Get out there. I'm going to end on this. Get out there and do some hip mobility so that you can keep up with these buttery robot hips. And that's what needs to happen. That's what we got to do. That's your homework. Do a little hip mobility this weekend. And don't be tearing any labrums, guys. Have fun this weekend, guys. And I will see you next week. Bye.